You know, we had our moments, just like all families do, but, you know, we fought hard, and, you know, we were brothers. What do you expect? But, you know, ultimately, the end result was, you know, waiting for Brian and Rick. You know, I never had a clue what was going on. You know, just like I didn't when my dad passed, you know, until years later. But I was fortunate enough to find out what was going on with Cullen, and, you know, I thought I was doing something by putting all this money up. And, you know, I know why I was putting all that money up now, you know. It wasn't anything what I thought at the time. It was that there was fixing to be a time I needed to go see my brother and take care of that business, you know. Yep. You know, that hatchet should have been long buried, you know. We carried that son of a bitch to the bloody end. And, but the awesome thing about that whole picture is his son and my son both got to see us bury that hatchet, you know. And,
awesome.
You know, I was going through those feelings, and, you know, and like I told Alex, his son, he's 30 years old, my son's 27. I told him, I said, look, I'm the only one that can break this chain of this rank and curse that, you know, when we get something in our heads, you know, we stay pissed off till the end. Oh, shit. And, you know, I really feel like we broke that chain that bound us all up all those years. And now our kids and our grandkids don't have to go through this. Regardless of how many hits and knocks that we had to take through those years, it took every bit of that to get us where we're at today.
Yes. Family and friends. Yeah. That's what it takes.
You know, that's why whenever anybody asks how'd your, you know, your Oregon trip go, you know, I tell them it was real bittersweet, you know.
Yeah.
But if I were to scale it, it'd come out way more sweet than it did bitter. You know?
Yes.
I got reunited with family and friends that y'all wouldn't have had a clue. Y'all didn't know what the hell where I was at, you know. And I didn't know where y'all were at, you know. And
we're here.
It's a hell of a healing process for me for all these years too. It's real devastating for me too.
I'm sorry.
Well, you know, it took all that to get to where we're at today.
Yeah.
You know, but we're all here today, and that's the awesome thing, right? You know, and Cullen's here today too. You know.
Yes, he is.
You know, I wish y'all could have seen when I showed up in the hospital. Now, y'all got to remember, Cullen hadn't seen me since 1972.
Wow.
Oh my
I
God.
showed up in Oregon, and it was like, the first 2 days I was there, he was still coherent, he could still talk and carry on. Bits and pieces of a pretty cool conversation, you know. And my first night there, you know, I grabbed his hand and I said, man, you know who the fuck I am? And he looked at me, and his eyebrows all watered up, you know, studying me hard. And he was like, well, I think so. And I said, I'm your little brother.
Oh my God.
I said, you know, and he started crying. You know. I started crying.
No, I'm crying.
We're all standing there crying. And,
that's what it takes.
yeah, and I hugged him and I told him, you know what? And it just got so overwhelming for him with all the morphine, and he was fighting demons in the corners and stuff. You know, I mean, whenever he'd get uncomfortable, I'd go hit the button for him. I mean, he couldn't put it together the first button, you know. You know, and that's the least I could put it. You know, just give him a little peace. You know, because I've been a little hellion, a little wild thing.
Yes, you were.
Nobody wanted him. It's like, oh, you don't fit in Lee Park. You're too friggin' wild, you know. But, you know, when it's all said and done, you know, we all made it through all this.
Yes.
You know,
And we're here holding.
and I missed out on a lot because I was Cullen's little brother, and I wasn't allowed these little mix, you know. It was like, oh, you can't go with that, you know. And, you know,
I did that with my little sister.
Yeah. And I remember going like, okay, I'm going to jump a trail real quick. Every year we'd go out to Palo Alto, California, to our grandparents and get stuck out there for the summertime. That was when the Fillmore and Haight-Ashbury and all that was going on. I was a little bitty. But I kept hearing Cullen and my sister sneaking out of that back room in the middle of the night. They was heading to the Fillmore and the Hall family, you know what I mean? And, they'd go down, and they got away with it the first night, and I was just pissed. You know, they got out, and I was stuck at the grandpa's house. And the next night, boy, I was sitting up just waiting on him. I was dressed, had my shoes on, I was ready to hit the window. I heard them go out, and I said, I need to let them get about half a block away. And I jumped out the window when I figured they were far enough away. And I followed them for a couple of blocks. So they were far enough away from the house not to send me back because they were afraid to take me. They had to take me to film more with them that night. You know? And from that point on, it's really when the demon got to walk, you know, when I got to running real wild. You know, nobody could talk to me after that, you know, because I was wide open. You know, I mean, we're all okay, man. You know, I mean, we went through hell to get where we're at today, but, you know, look at us, you know. It's awesome, you know. And you don't know how much of my life that evaded me through all those years, you know. Whether I was locked up in prison somewhere or locked up or just wasn't able to be a part of it, but I was kind of a part of it, you know. I was on the outskirts of it. That, you know, it's all coming together, you know, and it's all for Cullen, man. You know, Cullen was an awesome man. He was an awesome friend. He was an awesome everything, you know. And anything he put his heart to do, he was good at. You know? It's probably the best at it, you know. I wish Kerry would have made it tonight. There's so much I wanted to talk to Kerry about because he was such an impression on my life. A lot of those visions from back when Kerry was living in Louisville and had the ox and the falcons.
Wow.
You know, and I remember as a kid going out there and looking at them, you know, flying, it was awesome, you know. We were all into Agni Yoga and life work back then. Go figure, Edgar Casey stuff. You know, and all this stuff is just flooding back on me that I forgot, man, you know, through all this stuff. And getting caught up in life and just being angry at the world because, you know, I wasn't a part of that, but I was, you know.
Well, I'm sorry you missed all that because we've been doing this for years and years.
Yeah, well, that's just good stuff. Y'all ain't gonna get away with it if I know what's going on. I'm gonna be here, you know. I'm only 2 hours away, y'all, so look out. This is an awesome thing. I love y'all, and thank y'all for keeping it together.
Thank you.
Y'all have given me a lot of answers to my life.
Awesome.
Just like you made Cullen's life whole, you know, and that's what it's all about, man. Life's too short for the rest of it. Much love.